Before kings rose and empires fell, one soul walked the long road of time. Each age remembered him differently: scholar, soldier, heretic, saint. But through every life, one presence followed: the veiled woman of light. This is the Eternal Soul Chronicle, stories of remembrance across the centuries. The Florentine Veil, Section 1, The Boy Who Remembered Light. Florence, 1496. Bells of Santa Croce toll through rain, slow, solemn, heavy with incense. Their echoes roll along narrow streets where river mist drifts like breath from stone. Inside a cramped house near the Arno, a woman labors alone. She whispers names of saints she no longer trusts, and older ones that rise unbidden: Isis, Sophia, Madre di Luce. When the child arrives, he does not cry. He opens his eyes, wide, dark, utterly still. For a heartbeat, the room brightens, though no lamp burns higher. The midwife crosses herself. The mother weeps in awe. A dove settles on the sill, feathers wet from the storm. Thunder rolls across the Duomo like a turning wheel of brass. They name him Lorenzo di Matteo, the mason's son, born beneath bells and rain. A faint scent of myrrh lingers long after the storm passes. He grows amid wet lime and marble dust, beneath frescoes of saints whose eyes never quite meet his. His father shapes stone for churches. His mother washes monks' robes beside the river. They dream their boy might join the Painters' Guild, for his fingers cannot stay still. Give him soot, he makes pattern. Give him dust, he makes form. Yet even as a child, he seems older than his years. He listens to silence, as though expecting it to speak. Sometimes he stares at the sun until tears stream down his face. When asked what he sees, he answers only, home. By 7, Lorenzo sketches faces in the dust of the workyard. Faces no one knows. Women crowned with serpents, men whose eyes glow like dawn over desert sand. His father slaps the chalk from his hand. No heathen tricks in this house. The sound echoes through stone. That night, when all sleep, the boy rises. He finds a stub of charcoal and draws again. Small halos, open eyes, a spiral eating its own tail. When the candle flickers out, he whispers into the dark, I will remember. One winter morning, he follows his father to Santa Maria Novella to mend a cracked altar. While the men labor, he wanders into the nave. Light spills through stained glass, crimson, gold, and blue. It pools across the floor like molten jewels. He steps into it. The color moves over his skin as though recognizing him. Then he hears a woman's voice, soft as breath, humming through the stillness. Do not forget the light, she says. You have carried it before. He looks around. Empty pews, silent air. But in the glass above him, a veiled figure seems to turn her gaze toward the boy. He runs to his father, tugging at his sleeve, babbling of voices and light. Matteo grunts, calls it fancy, sends him to fetch nails. Yet the boy keeps glancing back at the window, afraid the figure will vanish completely. That night he dreams again, of color falling like rain, of eyes watching from beyond the glass. And when he wakes, the scent of myrrh is on his hands. That night, the city sleeps under a thin silver moon. Florence murmurs, river, bells, a stray dog's cry. But within Lorenzo's dreams, another world stirs. He stands beside a river lined with olive trees. The stars above are vast and close, like lanterns hung by unseen hands. Across the water stands a woman, robed in blue and gold. Her veil ripples in a wind he cannot feel. He cannot see her face, yet he knows her sorrow and her strength. The river glows between them. She lifts her hand, as if in blessing. When Lorenzo wakes, his heart pounds. His small room smells faintly of myrrh and wet earth. Outside, dawn bleeds pale light through the shutters. He sits up, whispering, "Who are you?" No answer. Only the slow toll of the morning bell. He tells no one. Not his mother, who would weep and call it a vision. Not his father, who would call it madness. In the days that follow, he sketches the woman again and again, on scraps of wood, on the back of old bills, even in the dust beside the hearth. The same veil, the same distant eyes. And each time, when the drawing nears completion, the candle flame bends toward it as if drawn by breath. He begins to fear sleep, for sleep brings her voice, and the voice stirs longing he cannot name. Yet he cannot bear to forget it either. By spring, her presence is as constant as the river's hum, unseen, unspoken, but always near. Begin. And, by 12, Lorenzo's hands are restless with color. He steals bits of pigment from the monastery workshop, ochre, vermilion, lapis, ground to powder. He grinds them with egg yolk and oil in secret, the scent thick and holy. He paints for days without food, without speech. When at last his mother finds him, a portrait fills the rough plank before him. It is her, the veiled woman from his dreams. Her eyes are deep as the Arno after rain. Her lips curve in a sorrow that feels older than the world. When sunlight strikes the wet paint, the colors shimmer, and every candle in the room bows inward, flame leaning toward her face. Livia crosses herself, trembling. "An angel," she whispers. His father stands behind her, jaw tight. He sees blasphemy, not wonder. "You'll bring curses on this house," he warns, snatching for the board. But the boy clutches it to his chest. "She's real," he pleads. "I remember her." The father's hand freezes, something in the boy's voice, an echo of conviction too heavy for a child. He turns away, muttering prayers. That night, Lorenzo hides the painting beneath his bed. Sleep will not come. Every creak of the timbers sounds like her breath, every flicker of light beneath the door her watching eyes. He whispers to the dark, "If you are a dream, do not fade. If you are real, find me." Begin now. Weeks pass. The secret painting beneath his bed becomes both comfort and curse. Each night he draws it out to study the face, the soft veil, the eyes that seem to breathe. He paints more, fragments of her hands, folds of fabric, glimpses of temples he has never seen. His mother worries he works too hard. His father calls it obsession. One evening, when the family sleeps, Lorenzo slips into the monastery workshop. Moonlight spills through the high windows. He lays out pigments, brushes, scraps of plaster. He begins again. The same veiled figure, but larger, radiant. Each stroke feels guided, as if unseen fingers move with his. Hours vanish. When the dawn bell rings, the painting shimmers with wet color. Her gaze meets his, alive with knowing. "You remember," he murmurs, and for an instant, a whisper moves through the stillness. "Always." He stumbles back, brush falling from his hand. The voice fades, but its warmth lingers in the air. He cleans the pigments, hides his work, and steps outside as sunlight touches the city's domes. The streets smell of bread, river, and possibility. Lorenzo lifts his paint-stained hands toward the morning light and whispers, Show me what this means. Begin. In the weeks that follow, Lorenzo's art draws quiet attention. The monks notice the boy's skill, his untrained hand guided by something they cannot name. One evening, Brother Carlo studies his sketches. "These are not of saints," he murmurs, "yet they bear holiness." Lorenzo only shrugs. "I paint what I see." Word spreads. Patrons from the market quarter come to watch him mix color. They ask for portraits of their wives, their sons, but his brush hesitates unless the light feels right, unless it reminds him of her. His father grows uneasy. He warns the boy that strange art draws envy, and envy draws the church's eye. "Keep to what is safe," Matteo insists. "Christ, the Madonna, no more." But when Lorenzo paints, he cannot help what emerges. The same face forms beneath his brush again and again, the woman veiled in blue, eyes half-turned toward eternity. At night he dreams she walks among unfinished statues, touching their marble brows until they wake. "You build what you remember," she tells him. "Do not fear the shape of truth." He wakes, trembling yet unafraid. In the candle's weak glow he whispers, "Then I will remember all of it." And somewhere beyond the city's sleeping roofs, a single bell answers, low and distant, as though another world has heard. Winter drapes Florence in mist. The streets smell of smoke and candle wax. Talk of reform stirs among the monks. They speak of vanity, of art that tempts the soul. Lorenzo listens from the doorway of the workshop, brush still in his hand. "Can beauty be sin?" he whispers. No one answers. He paints anyway, hidden, tireless, the same veiled face appearing on every board and scrap of cloth. But the colors darken now, deep blues edging toward shadow. One night, his father finds him working by the firelight. The painting glows with eerie life, eyes seeming to follow Matteo as he enters. "Enough," the man says, voice shaking. "You defy heaven." Lorenzo bows his head, but does not stop. The brush moves of its own will, tracing light upon the veil. Matteo slams the door and leaves him to his heresy. In the silence that follows, Lorenzo feels neither shame nor triumph, only the strange calm of recognition. He whispers, "I have seen this flame before." The woman's image shimmers. For an instant, her veil lifts in the painted light, revealing a hint of a smile, sad, knowing. A breeze slips through the shutters. The candle flares, then dies, leaving the room silver with moonlight and the scent of myrrh thick in the air. Begin. Days pass in restless creation. Lorenzo's room fills with sketches, faces of the veiled woman, glimpses of temples, circles of flame. He hardly eats. When his mother begs him to rest, he smiles faintly. "I'm close," he says, though to what he cannot tell. One evening, the air grows heavy, charged like before a storm. He lights a single candle and uncovers his first painting, now dulled with dust. "Show me," he whispers. The flame quivers, stretching tall and gold. The painted eyes seem to open wider. Light spills from them, not illusion, but living glow that spills across the floor. The walls melt into endless space. He stands once more by the river of his dreams. The woman is there, veil stirring in the windless dark. "You have carried the fire across lifetimes," she says. "Do you know its name?" Lorenzo shakes his head. No, it is remembrance, she answers. And remembrance burns. He wakes on the floor, heart racing, candle guttered to smoke. The painting lies before him unchanged, save for one thing. Where her hands were empty, she now holds a small flame cupped between them. He touches the spot. The paint is warm. Outside, rain begins to fall. He kneels, whispering, "I will not let it die." Somewhere, faint and far, thunder rolls across the city, as if the heavens approve or warn. Begin. The storm does not pass. Days of thunder follow, each one louder than the last. The monks speak of omens. The city mutters of sin disguised as beauty. Rumors find Matteo. They say his son paints forbidden visions, that angels and idols share the same face. Fear curls in the father's gut. He climbs the stairs to Lorenzo's room at dawn. The door is barred. Smoke curls from beneath it. He breaks it open. Inside, canvases lean against every wall. Hundreds of faces, all the same woman, all watching. Their eyes gleam in the trembling light. A single candle tips, falling to the floor. Oil catches. Fire runs like gold across the planks. Lorenzo cries out, trying to save his work, but the heat drives him back. Flames devour color and cloth alike. His father drags him outside as the roof begins to glow. In the street, neighbors gather. Some pray, some whisper witchcraft. The boy stands, shaking, watching his life's vision burn. Through the smoke he sees her, no longer painted, but standing within the fire, calm and luminous. She raises her hand in silent blessing. He feels no pain, only wonder. "You came," he breathes. The flames collapse inward, a single column of gold. When it fades, only ash and silence remain. Matteo turns to comfort his son, but Lorenzo's eyes are fixed on the embers, unblinking, filled with light. Begin. Morning comes soft and gray. Smoke drifts above the ruined house, winding into the pale sky like a final prayer. The townsfolk move on, their gossip fading with the rain. Only the river keeps witness, carrying soot and color down its slow, patient current. Lorenzo stands at its edge, a small bundle beneath his arm. His last surviving board, half charred, half whole. The woman's eyes are blurred, yet her calm endures. He kneels, tracing the edge of the veil one final time. "If the fire could not keep you," he whispers, "perhaps the water will." He sets the painting afloat. The current catches it gently, carrying it toward the open sea. For a moment, the river glows where it drifts, as if remembering the flame. Then it is gone. He closes his eyes. Behind his lids, the woman's face returns, brighter, freer, no longer bound by frame or color. Her voice is barely a breath. "You have seen through the mirror. Now walk through it." He rises, watching dawn spill gold across the Arno. The city begins to stir. Bells, vendors, the hum of another day. The boy who remembered light turns away from the ashes. His hands, though empty, still glow faintly, as if dusted with fire. And somewhere beyond time's veil, a river in another world begins to flow. For the soul remembers what the mind forgets. Thus ended his Florentine life. Yet the current of his spirit moved on, seeking the next shore. Begin. Another life fades, yet the current of the soul flows on. Across oceans, across centuries, memory waits beneath the veil. Follow its journey through time, the eternal soul chronicle.